This is part 2 of my review of Disney's Descendants 3. This is the spoiler version of the video. Like I said in the thumbnail of the first one, part 2 will be spoilers. So here we go. The film actually started off with a tribute, a memorial, in a sense, basically what it is, for Cameron, the actor who played as Carlos in the Descendants series. It's cool that they actually did that. Very cool. It says, for Cameron, who made every moment count, which is awesome. I'm going to try not to go through the whole movie, but the movie started off a brand new song, of course. Awesome music in all three of these films. It basically starts off a continuation of the last film, and then it starts going downhill from there because the prince, I can't remember his name now, but he proposes to Mel, which is the main character of the series, in my opinion, along with her friends. But I feel like she is the main character, the character with the purple hair. He proposes to her, and she says yes. And then you have this character, of course, in a film series that has to be the villain. And I can't remember what the character's name is. I have to look it up. But there's a girl character. I believe she was in the second Descendants film, I think. I can't remember too much. But so she wanted to get revenge on the prince because she wanted to marry him instead of Mel marrying him. She wants to marry him, and because she wants to get Kit's revenge. So she steals the staff of Maleficent, which basically belongs to Mel, but Mel doesn't use it. And it just gets worse from there. But before all that happens, Mel and her friends, which include Carlos and all the rest of them, I can't remember all their names. I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I do love the movies. But as I was going about, Mel and her friends were invited to, I'm just going to call it the Hero Island, where the prince lives at. And then there's the Villain Island, I'm just going to call it that. And there's two separate islands, and they are not connected, but they are connected by a barrier, which they can be allowed to cross over the barrier, but with magic in order to cross over with a special limousine, which they added more vehicles like motorcycles and stuff like that you could use to pass through the barrier to transport other characters from the Villain Island to the Hero Island. So they decided to transfer Dizzy, which is one of Mel's friends. She's a very interesting character. I need to go back and rewatch the first and second film, but I'm just reviewing the third one. Her name is Dizzy, and they brought over two more characters. I believe they're brothers of Smee the pirate from Hook, and then they brought over Dizzy is the daughter of Drozilla. Squeaky and Squirm are the two brothers, and they're twins, and they're the sons of Smee. Sounds like her name is Acelia. I may be wrong about that. I'm actually going through clips of the film to make sure I get my information correctly. but she is the daughter of the witch doctor character from the movie Princess and the Frog. So that's pretty cool that they brought all these more villains into the series, which is awesome. And then they have daughters and sons and stuff like that. Awesome movie. I love it. But this part is getting close to the part where they get engaged, almost. Well, not quite, but it's getting close to it. I just wanted to show off that. I can't seem to find out what that character's name is, but she's the villain in this movie. It's a girl who has a crush on the prince, who Mel is engaged to. I cannot remember what her name is, but later on in the film, after she gets the staff of Maleficent, she uses it to put the people on the island of heroes. I'm just going to call it that. I'm not sure exactly what the title of it is, but that's what I'm calling it as. The Island of Heroes and the Island of Villains. That's just me. Okay. But she puts the people on the Island of Heroes all asleep, and she even turns some of them into stone. So it was something else. I mean, crazy. But so it does eventually get better. And then Mel has an encounter with that villain, and Mel gets cursed, and she becomes a elderly lady, which is kind of funny and kind of creepy in a way. She kind of reminded me of that elderly lady in Snow White, the one that has the cursed apples. That's what Mel actually looked like. She had the black hooded cloak and everything. But of course she didn't stay that way. She was actually able to get her looks back once she got on a motorcycle with her other friends, and then they traveled to the villain island, and she was able to turn back into her old self. But they figured out how they could get everyone to reawaken. There was this stone that Hades has, that he doesn't have his powers anymore, but the stone gives him his powers, which causes his blue hair to glow and catch on fire in a blue, fiery way like it always has, especially like in the original cartoon animated Hercules movie when Hades had blue fire hair. It doesn't look that amazing, but it still looks pretty cool in this movie. And so Mel confesses during the moment when she's with Hades, when she's trying to get the stone. She confesses that Hades is her father. So that's combination right there. Mel's mother is Maleficent, and her father is Hades. Wow. What parents. Good grief. But eventually Uma shows back up. She wants to get revenge on Mel and her friends from where the second movie ended at. So Uma comes back, and Uma is the daughter of Ursula from The Little Mermaid. She's a squid character. But it turns out that Uma had to help Mel out and her friends to basically save the day. But before that happens, Mel gets into a mess. She ends up lying to her friends, because back on the Hero Island, they were having a conversation about the barrier, because Hades was trying to come through, which he finally does come through the barrier, but he was trying to come through the barrier, and Mel had to fight him off in her dragon form. So on the Hero Island, in this mansion, I guess is where the prince lives at, they were having a conversation, a meeting about the barrier, and Mel had came up and said, well, they probably need to shut the barrier down and close it up to where nobody else can come through. So when it got to the moment with her friends, when everybody started turning into stone, she lied to her friends about that. And then they got turned into stone. And before all of that, though, Uma and Mel and all of her friends were all working together, which they don't work together hardly good at all. But they were being forced to because it was in that type of situation, which later on, Mel and Uma became friends, basically. But everything worked out in the end. And the stone that Mel has was not supposed to get wet because her father, Hades, said, don't get it wet. If the stone gets wet, it goes out. And then everything's done for. Everything's basically done. So, I think it was Dizzy snatched the stone from Mel and got it wet. Or, I can't remember if it was Dizzy or if it was the daughter of the witch doctor. It might have been the daughter of the witch doctor, I think, because Dizzy was under the sleep spell, so it was the witch doctor's daughter. Had snatched the stone and dropped it in a water, and it was done for. And then eventually, after, did I say Mel's friends turned into stone? Well, if I didn't, they turned into stone, so all that was left was Mel and Uma and Captain Hook, and it was a mess. And the villain girl, she was trying to use the staff to try to take over the place even more. I'm trying to remember everything, but she and Mel had a fight. Mel had turned back into her dragon form. She had the stone in her hand as a dragon, and she was able to breathe fire on the stone and bring its magic back. And Uma has this necklace around her neck, and somehow she was able to use that power to help Mel out earlier in the film. I know this review is a mess, but I'm doing my best as I possibly can. But, so Uma's necklace also has powers as well. But I'm just going to get to the point. Mel won the fight, and the villain girl basically fell under the sleeping spell after the battle was over. And then Hades had to be escorted from the villain island to the hero island to bring the villain girl out of the sleeping curse or spell, whatever you want to call it, so she can be reawoken, which they reawoke her, and she came back, and everything started to fall back into place. And Mel apologized for lying to her friends, and they all understood that she was trying to protect them and telling them that they didn't need to know because she was trying to protect them, and she's sorry for lying and all that, and it was just a mess. But everybody got reawoken, and everything worked out in the end. But how the movie ended, which was fantastic. Mel and the prince, well, it was mainly her, if I can remember correctly, it was her decision to, instead of breaking the barrier down to where nobody else can come back over, she actually broke the barrier down with a wand that she had, I think from the fairy godmother, I think from the second film. And she used that, and it broke the barrier and connected both of the islands. So no more separations of the two islands. So the heroes and the villains could all live together in harmony. They can pass through back and forth as many times as they want. So the story ended fantastically. It was a perfect ending for the series. I don't believe they're going to make any more. I believe this is the final film. And it was so good. I give it a 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Same goes for the first and second ones. And it doesn't take much to satisfy me. If it's a good movie, and a lot of other people say that they don't like it, I'm not talking about particularly this movie, I'm talking about other ones. It don't take much for me, even in a video game. A lot of other people might say it's bad, but it don't take much to satisfy me. That was a fantastic movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. Alright, I'm Auckland. If you enjoy my content, please hit the subscribe button, like button also. Share with your friends if you don't mind. Also, please comment, ask me a question, or comment in general. I'll do my best to answer them. And also, if you don't mind, hit the notification bell down below, and you'll be notified when I go live or upload another video. Alright, thank you so much. And I hope I did my best. This review was messed up, but I did my best to get through it. And yeah, alright, I hope I did a okay job, I hope. Alright, thank you so much. Alright, bye.